Hello and welcome to Eat, Sleep, Box and Repeat. I am glad and proud to be joined by Chris Jenkins today, British and Commonwealth champion. Thank you for doing this, Chris. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Come on. All good, mate. Good, all good. Sunday family day, so I'll walk out. Food.
Good. For those of you that don't know as well, we're filming this on the Sunday, which is the 28th of February. Tomorrow, mate, is St. David's Day. So happy St. David's Day from one Welshie to another.
And you as well. I didn't even know that. So
I'll edit that bit out. You knew. It's good.
I'm in camp. So I've got reasons to forget these things.
Yeah, mate. Every day must be the same for you in camp. How is camp going, first of all?
It's been good. I've been back in now. I had a lot of time off with this lockdown and losing sponsors. I was working, so I went up as Cardiff as much. But now I've been back in now for close to 7-8 weeks back in the gym.
Good.
And you know everything's going right. You know we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's and making sure that we'll be ready for fight night.
And fight night's fast approaching. Before we get into that then, I know you've talked about this a little bit, so don't want to labour on it too long, but what's the COVID period been like for you? What's the reality of trying to be a professional boxer when there's just not professional shows happening?
The reality is my kids are off school and there's bonkers in the house, but every good man's a better woman, and you know I got a good wife and she's doing good. You know, I got a train, she knows the score. But yeah, the only ball it really was losing sponsors that I really needed. But luckily, I put a little ad out there, seeing if anyone was interested, and had a good few come on board. So it helped me over the cost of camping off. And without them coming on board, I think I'll be able to, well, I wouldn't be where I am now, being able to train full time for the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's good. So it's obviously setting you up, putting you prepared for a bit, you know, title defenses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything over this COVID lockdown period that maybe it can be outside of boxing? What positives have you managed to take from this time?
Where I live, you know, I think we took for granted where we lived. You know, literally we walk 100 meters on the road, take a right, and there's all countryside, the mountains and things, and we've just enjoyed having family time. And that's what a lot of people, I think, you do take it for granted when you're on a busy week of work and you get the weekend, you just want to relax or things like that. You do take family for granted.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you've got, you know, commitments like you're actually doing media days and you're training and you travel a little bit as well to the gym, obviously, and it takes its toll, doesn't it? Adds up.
Well, yeah, I try living in a little village about. No one's going to know where that is, but basically Estrugan, Lavera, you know, all that area. And I travel from there to Cardiff every 3-4 day week. And also 2.5 hour round trip to the gym. And then on Sundays, then I usually go to Brett Parry's in Amadi. But, you know, we didn't turn up this morning. We leave out there.
I'm saying I'll tag him into this video as well now. So we always put this content out. Quick shout out now for the Welsh boxing groups on Facebook. So those guys will know exactly where you're from, what you're talking about, and stuff like that. So before we go on, then to take a quick look at what's coming up. Let's go back a little bit. I want to start off today talking about that Johnny Garton fight. You might know this, you probably should know, but did you know in that fight, Garton was 25-1 odds-on favourite? How did it feel to you going into that fight? Did you feel like you were the big underdog in that fight?
I didn't even know that. I knew we'd be the underdog because basically look at this. The fighters he boxed before fighting me. I had no clue on that. All I will say is that I wouldn't say I thought I was going to lose, but I didn't have the the faith in myself. But then obviously I got to go coaching Gary, and we spoke the night before the fight, and I said, God, no, I don't think I can do this. No, and he said, look, trust me now. You put the work in, and you'll soon see. And then, do you know what? I don't know why, but I think I boxed half decent, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you boxed better than half decent, pal. You're very modest there. I got some things to talk about or ask you about with Gary later on, actually. But that what you mentioned there reminded me a little bit of, and you might know this story better than me, is when Joe Calzaghe was fighting Jeff Lacey, and he was petrified, and he was fighting off that fear. And his dad told him, "This is gonna be the easiest fight of your life." That night when you went in there with Garton, it wasn't easy, of course, but everything clicked. What do you put it down to that everything was just on it?
Everything clicked. The main thing, I didn't get cut. And that's the main thing. But no, I just think that, no, it was my night. It was my night. Whether it caught up with Johnny, we don't know whether. But if you look at it, since I've boxed him, I've had 2 defenses since, and I'm still holding the belt. So I think me moving up a weight has played a big part in my boxing and my performances. And just basically, I know what I've got to do now. I know I can do it. And after that night, I'm more than confident beating anyone in my weight in the UK.
Nice. And how much do you put some of that knowing what you've got to do down to Gary and your relationship with him then? Gary Lockett, of course.
Massive. There's no, he's been there, he's done it. You know, he's got a T-shirt. Come on, we boxed Kelly Pavlik, one of the best out there at the time. You know, not many fighters would have gone in the ring with him, and Gary was straight in there. You know, he's been there, he's done it. He knows me. It's just, it might be funny saying this, but he knows me better than I know myself.
Can I read you a quote? I spoke to a Nathan Thorley. You know Nathan Thorley, yeah?
Thunderhead.
I spoke to him in the build-up to on the fighting Chris Smith, and this is what he said about Gary. Just wondering how much it relates to you. So he said, his words were, "Gary connects to us. For me, he's not just my trainer; he's my friend. I can go to him and ask him for anything if I'm ever in need, or if I need advice or something. He's one of these guys that's always there, and he's not just a trainer." Is that something you'd support and you'd say you agree with?
Well, first of all, Nathan Foley's name is Shovelhead because he got massive head, and I'm going to have him back for that because he keeps on doing me over. And like you said there, 100%, mate. You know, obviously when my mates took their own lives, Gary was on a phone straight away, you know, when he was there to support me. There's probably a lot of coaches out there that will do that, their fighters, but I don't think they'll reach out as much as Gary did.
Yeah, he said about, I've spoken to a few guys that he trains, and the thing that comes across a lot is the amount of respect. And is it fair to say you've got like a trust in what Gary tells you to do, and that when he's giving you instructions, you take it because you trust what he's saying?
Like a sponge, mate. My mind's like a sponge. When he's talking about boxing, you know, I'm absorbing it all in. There is no obviously I'll have a laugh at him sometimes and act like Chris, and he'll just look at me. But yeah, I just leave it all. I'll absorb it all in and just take it all on board. I'll try it if it works. I was thinking, shit, why not do it ages ago? But then if it doesn't work, he'll come up with another way to get it done.
Yeah. Speaking of getting it done, then you've got a fight coming up now, Ekow Essuman. And first of all, how much do you know about him? I guess you know a little bit, or do you know a lot?
I seen him box Pena or whatever it was.
Yes.
His last fight didn't stand out. Granted, the guy he boxed was a tough cookie, don't get me wrong. But, you know, what he does well, he does well. I don't know too much of him. He comes across as this nice guy in interviews and things. But to be honest with you, he's a prick. I'll be honest with you, dropping in my DMs and then getting his boys to drop in my DMs. And, do you know what I mean? Grow up, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a father of kids. I think he's got a child, haven't he? He's a father, I think, as well. You know, be a role model. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, that's a solid message. I can't really argue with the message there. Ekow spoke to one of the guys at one of the other writers at Eat, Sleep, Box and Repeat. He reckons that you being inactive for quite a while now, he reckons that he's going to bring the pressure and put the pressure on you and you won't be able to handle it.
Oh, that's it.
What's the plan? What you going to fight fire with fire? You going to try and box him?
Just try and do what he wants. You know, he's not boxed anyone, and that's the truth. I'm not being big-headed or nothing about anything. He's boxed nobody. You know, I don't know. I think he beat Tyrone Nurse, if I'm right in saying that. But was Tyrone Nurse over the hill?
Well, Tyrone has picked up a few losses since then, hasn't he?
Well, that's what I'm saying too. You know, he can say what he wants. You know, I'm doing what I got to do in camp. Best of luck in his camp. I hope he doesn't get no niggles or gets hurt or falls over or something, or you know what I mean, a little excuse. Because I don't know, there's not many fighters I do and don't like when I fight them. So I'm gonna be putting everything in the camp.
Respect that a lot. So Gary's coming up with a plan. How's things like, I know lockdown's difficult, but what's things like for sparring? You managing to get people in you think that can replicate him, or have you got good sparring in the gym? How are you able to overcome that barrier?
We got good in-house. Got very good in-house sparring. Sparring boys a lot heavier than me, a lot bigger than me as well. So they push me back. Obviously there's lads and we can go to gyms and stuff because we are professional athletes. So we have got like a little pass so we can actually go to gyms to train and stuff. So that is a good thing. But you know, everything's done in the gym regarding me, and I'm a seasoned pro. I've had over 20 odd fights, close to 30 fights. So, you know, I don't really bother in getting someone who can replicate his style. I've just got to work on what I'm good at and then execute on the night.
Yeah. So, speaking of the gym that you've got there, in that gym, you've got people like Jay Harris in and around world title eliminator coming up soon. Joe Cordina, world title eliminator again coming up soon. You got
Joe Cordina was down with us training while he was home. He's actually part of the Sims gym in Essex.
Yeah, I saw footage of him actually because he'd been back recently. I know one of the other guys has been there filming with you, and Joe he still pops in and out, doesn't he? Having quality like that, and Reese Edwards as well, highly touted youngster, having quality in and around the gym, how does that help you in your game? Is there stuff you see them do and you want to try and bring into your game?
Yes or no, because like Jay's quality, you know, Jay will be the next world champion from Wales. Obviously, Liam's fighting Bubu Andrade. Hopefully he does it, but I can see, you know, Jay coming through. But you got the youngsters like Reese is only young. Was he 20-year-old, 18, 19-year-old? You know, young, full of energy, lovely set of ashes on him. But no, you know, the banter's there in the gym, but when we work, we're just working hard. And the thing is, with the gym with us as well, you have these gyms out there that say you're fighting, the lads might say, oh yeah, good luck, but really they want you to lose. But with our gym, you want us all to do the best for each other.
Yeah. Do you think that comes from sort of, you're all quite local lads, do you think this to do with that, or do you think it's like an attitude that Gary sets? What do you think sets that positive culture?
I just think there's no dickheads in the gym. There's no one that's full of themselves. You know, you respect each other. You show respect, you get respect back. And if you can give the banter, you better be able to take it, because I think I'm the worst one out there.
We were talking off camera before we started this, and we were talking about football. We're both Swansea fans, and you've got a couple of Cardiff fans in the gym with you, have you?
Couple. Let's just say that Tony Jeffries, who actually runs Clan Romney Boxing Gym, the amateur and the old thing, he's a massive kind of fan. You've got Tony Bryant then, who's an ex-Bluebird, naughty boy, and a good man. But yeah, the banter flies there, especially when I'm walking in the gym, and it's you, Jack, as soon as I walk in, and Ben Crocker walks in, and he's from Swansea way, and Jay Harris to walk in, and then the other day I think it was all Swansea boys in their training. There was no Cardiff boys there, and it was like, but the banter's always there, But we know if we cross the line, and if we do, it's usually sorry, but suck it up, on with it.
Yeah, definitely. You're in a cutthroat competitive sort of industry, and that's the sort of the atmosphere you need as well. And that quality being around is going to keep pushing you forward. Talking about going forward, then I know you don't want to overlook Ekow now, but if you win, let's just say when you win, because that's obviously the attitude you've got. When you win, do you have a path set out? Are you hoping to just fight more regularly? Are you hoping to defend and move up and European? What's the plan?
Basically, just do a number on him. Make him look like an ordinary dog. That's the plan. To box his head off. And, I get him fired up and fight now when it's only 4 weeks out, give or take. And the plan of attack is get him done, shut his mouth up, because all he does is mouth for mouth, and his cronies as well who keeps on popping in my messengers. They can all hush up then. And then hopefully, I've said it in God knows how many interviews, my main aim is to win this belt outright. I got 3 young boys to keep in the family for generations. There's not many Welshmen have done it. And I'd love to be in the history books, not only for winning it, but for keeping it outright.
Yeah, absolutely. An honour in it, and it's a beautiful belt to have. Talking about history there, then, you've taken, and you're still taking, quite a traditional route, like you've done the areas, you're on to the British and you're trying to keep it outright. What do you think about, then, the Conor Benn fight, for example? It was all talked about. You were being overlooked. Conor Benn was the big favourite and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't happen. He's taken a different route. Why do you think fighters, in this case, particularly Conor Benn, why is he taking a different route?
Politics. That's all I can think about. I just think of it's politics. I think that, yes, there was talks about it. There was bids put in, and then he pulled out to the purse bids. And it's all about politics. It's all I can really make sense out of it that way. He's getting matched up where he's fighting these opponents at the right times. And he's picking up these belts that's getting him ranked in the certain governing bodies and getting him ranked up closer to the world. So, it's crazy, but I just got to concentrate on what I got to do. And if we cross paths on the line, so be it. But, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, it's good. Do you ever feel like, and I don't want to divulge too much because we've been talking for like a year off and on trying to get interviews done and whatever else, but do you ever feel like you get a little bit overlooked sometimes? Because you've got names like Ben and Kelly and all these other like more glamorous names, but I'm not trying to be offensive, but sometimes you're sort of pushed below these guys. Do you ever feel overlooked?
No, really. It does, when you're watching fights and then they mention a certain fighters, and it's like, hang on, I'm the British Commonwealth champion. It's like, but it is what it is. It's all about certain fighters getting sold, if you know what I mean, to market them. So they know what they're doing, the reason why they're doing it. And there's nothing I can do, but I just keep winning and holding these belts.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. So you're all good. Just to sum it up then, you're all good, doing well. No cuts, nothing in training or in sparring now that's setting you back?
There we are.
Mate. Looking good. Can see the makeup, you're looking sharp today as well, as eyebrows looking nice.
No, mate, the thing is, it's boxing, innit? If you're gonna go swimming, you're gonna get wet, right? If you're gonna box, you're gonna get hit, but you don't expect to get headbutted. So, my last performance, shit, even though I thought I was coming good, but the one before that, lovely fight in one flat. Obviously, I won the belt. So if no heads go in, there's no issues in it. But if you an head to go in, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. Sorry, last couple of questions then. Do you train any, like, do you prepare any differently? Because knowing that there's a potential, I guess, there's been quite a few of your fights on there with cuts and stuff. Is that something in your mind?
No, mate, at the time's not in my mind. But when it does happen, because I've been cut so many times via a head clash, I know exactly the feeling I get. And it's a shooting pain. And I think I've got scars. I've got about 3 scars here. I've got 4 scars there. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. But just try boxing as much as I can and making sure my hands and my head's out the way.
There we go. All right, mate. I appreciate your time. Just want to say thank you very much. Anybody you need to shout out? Anyone you want to mention before we're done?
Yeah, I got some new sponsors on board. I'll probably forget through one, but I've got Off-Roaders, 100% old school, Charlo's Chippy, a chip shop, mind. And I got to make way. Flawless Cleaning. What else have I got? Artificial Grass. I got a number of new sponsors come on board to make it possible for me to train without having a backlog of going to work and all that. So I thank them. Also, my ones have always been with me, like SP Motor Recoveries, Dirty Dry South now with the gloves, AC Massage. They know where they are. And just a massive shout out to them all.
Amazing. Chris Jenkins, thank you very much for your time. I'm very grateful. Wishing you all the best and health and success in everything that comes for you.
Happy days. Thank you. Thanks.